Blood Surge was already good before Season 1. Now with Season 1, it's stronger than ever. It doesn't run out of essence. You have more heal and bonus damage plus consistent corpse triggers. It might actually be the fastest build to level up because you're just flying through any 1 to 50 content. And yes, this build should be able to do the new nerfed tier 100 dungeons as well. Let me present you the new gameplay loop, aspects, hearts, skill breakdown, and the full Paragon board as well. And before you ask, there's going to be a link with a 1 to 50 skill also in the description below, so you know where to put every point at any point in your journey. The good thing is this build can engage completely different now. You're actually going in with Blood Mist. The Blood Mist makes a corpse, and that corpse straight away triggers a corpse tendril because of your heart. Then you just blast everything away. That's kind of like how it has always been. But what you're not noticing is that we're actually consistently and continuously doing corpse explosion now whenever there's a corpse close by. And we also automatically resummon our minions just in case should they die. I mean, I don't have to press a button. I just have to be close by, right? And I get my minions back. Your minions consistently refill your essence, but also your corpse explosion consistently refills your essence nowadays because it's automatically being cast while you're making corpses, while your minions are making corpses, while everyone around you actually makes corpses. And this whole build right now is without Mother's Embrace because I just don't have it, which would cut the resource cost in half since that's what Mother's Embrace kind of does. But here, going in, pulling everything together, getting it together, killing, and then corpse explosion for the things remaining. And now you're asking, Pony, what about bosses? I'll be having a section at the end where we completely just talk about how to beat bosses with this, because it's now faster than ever due to the combination of hemorrhage and free corpse explosion, making Insane Fortify, yes, Insane Fortify, which is most of your damage, and infinite essence. Skill breakdown. We're starting with hemorrhage and also initiates hemorrhage to be able to fully fortify with a 1.5% chance. Sounds low, but it happens more often than you think it does. And it continuously fortify you. And fortify plus max life times overpower is kind of like most of your damage. Then Blood Surge into per normal Blood Surge for the 5 stacks to always overpower. And the difference is now we're going for Hood Flash to be able to make corpses. Because the more corpses we have, the more often Corpse Explosion and Corpse Tendril can trigger. And the Corpse Explosions, the Plague Corpse Explosion, are bonus damage against slowed, stunned, or vulnerable, and reduce slow, stunned, or vulnerable all the time. Then Blood Mist into Ghastly Blood Mist, since you can make the corpse, but while you're still in the Blood Mist, the Corpse Tendrils are actually being triggered by your Sacrilegious Heart to straight away pull everyone together as you come out of the Blood Mist. Bonus essence for the Grim Harvest, and obviously fueled by death the whole time. And the fun part, since you're continuously actually interacting with corpses, now the Flesh Eater Paragon node for a 40% multiplicative damage will continuously trigger as well. Bonus skeleton life, then Decrepify into the Decrepify Abhorrent cooldown. Technically, you don't need the cooldown that much, but you have the Decrepify Heart running for the Decrepify Aura for the continuous 20% damage reduction. And with this, your Blood Mist and your Corpse Tendrils will have an even lower uptime than they already have. Bonus damage against Curse, bonus damage against Closed, and damage reduction, plus Skeletal Mage Mastery. Then we're going to put all the points here in the Bloods, especially for the Fortify from Blood skills, and also the Fortify for making corpses with your skills. With the Blood Mist, actually, yes, everything kind of works nicely together. And then we also have the Corpse Tendrils into Vulnerable. Technically, you can also work with the Blood Orbs. I'll come more to that with the aspects, as you obviously don't have all the uniques, as I don't have all the uniques. And there's quite a nice interaction with Blood Orbs right now, as Corpse Tendrils continuously triggers due to the Sacrilegious Heart. Then we have the points in Healthy for the attack speed for me and my minion, for more essence from the minions, and for more attack speed for myself, plus Rathmas Vigor for the 10% multiplicative life bonus. That works together very nicely for the maximum life on your Golem as well. Skeletal Mages for the essence with the Cult Mages, and then the Warriors for the Reapers for the corpses. Now my equipment is subpar, and I just threw together what I kind of had, some of the good ones, some of the bad ones. What are the hearts, though, we're using? And that's first the Decrepify Heart for the continuous Decrepify, 20% damage reduction, cooldown reduction, everything, and the slow being applied. That gets followed by the Sacrilegious, which is the most important, that it continuously triggers corpse skills around you with a Corpse Explosion for the bonus essence, bonus damage, stacking bonus damage, the Corpse Tendril, and resummoning your minions if needed. But then last but not least, every 5 seconds while above 60% life, Core skills cost 188 life instead of your primary resource. Every 5 seconds, you get a free cast. And since your Blood Surge heals you for a total of, for currently 79 plus 79, and on my main character, it actually heals me for 800 per Blood Surge. Yeah, because I have like plus 10,000 life. You get an absolute free cast without a 0 downside. And that cast would actually do also bonus damage. Yeah, 22. And that can go even higher with, this is a level 1 heart. This would be a higher level heart for 26% bonus damage, for example. And the best part is, if that heart aligns with Rasmus Vigor, which will happen eventually down the line, you're going to get a free cast, plus you're going to get the overpower and then do a super overpower. Now for the aspects and the items you want to have, let's throw an eye on our 94 character so you have a realistic picture how it can look in the end game. In the beginning, you'll use a two-handed weapon, but you always want to use a one-handed and an offhand because of the attack speed. Attack speed allows you to just Blood Surge faster in a row, Hemorrhage faster for more essence if needed, and also even to Corpse Explosion faster if there's enough corpses. Very important is you want to have the Blood Surge because Blood Surge double Nova, super good. Followed up by, and then stat-wise, we're looking for Overpower, All Stats, Intelligence, and then damage to slowed / crowd control or core skill damage works quite nicely. On the offhand, it's maximum minion life, resource generation is good, and then any kind of stats. Dex and strength is armor and crit chance, which works quite well with all your skills. But most importantly, each % of your maximum life you heal beyond 100%. You continuously do that with Blood Surge. Right now I heal for 800 per Blood Surge. Grants you 0.5% bonus overpower damage on your next overpowering attack, up to 60% bonus. You can imagine that's quite good. And it can also be put on your amulet if you don't have the unique amulet. For the ring, you want to look for maximum life, minion life, and also overpower damage. And then whenever your blood skills overpower, you gain 50% attack speed, which allows you to have a cascading effect of 1 Blood Surge overpowers and then another 20 Blood Surge straight away, or quick hemorrhages to restore your essence, plus the essence restoration of your corpse explosion the whole time. We want to have more skeletal warriors, while going for max life, total armor, dex strength. On the chest, it's disobedience for the armor stacking, still good. And then maximum minion life, maximum life, all stats, damage reduction from close enemies. The all stats could also be damage reduction in total. On your gloves, you want to have the Blood Surge. Intelligence is nice, overpower damage, attack speed doesn't hurt. And then we also have the bonus critical strike chance and corpse tendrils. That makes your corpse explosion critical strike, your corpse tendrils critical strike, and also your blood surges that don't overpower critical strike also very nicely, and actually overpower can crit too. Then aspect of the heart and bones for the damage reduction on your skeletons so they survive more. This one also has damage reduction, total armor, maximum life, maximum minion life. This is actually the perfect pants, to be honest. Then on your amulet, I would go for the Death Speaker's Pendants if you have it for the minion Novas, because that's absolutely insane. No worries, I have a combination of aspects that works equivalently interesting as long as you don't have the pendant. Followed up by Mother's Embrace, which you get for finishing the campaign, or you can find it on the ground. If you want it straight away, obviously do the campaign. If you don't have it, no worries. It's so good though, because if a core skill hits 5 or more enemies, 40% of the resource cost is refunded, and that is bonkers. Now, if you don't have these two, don't worry. There's the aspect of the Potent Blood. While at full life, Blood Orbs grant you 10 to 20 essence, followed up by aspect of the Embalmer. Consuming a corpse has a 20 to 30% chance to spawn a Blood Orb. So you're continuously making Blood Orbs, the Corpse Explosion, Corpse Tendrils, summoning minions while you're making corpses, while you're then getting essence for actually full health walking over Blood Orbs, which heal you at the same time as they're giving you essence. And in the Paragon board, they would also give you bonus damage. Follow that up with foregoing vulnerable damage, because vulnerable damage doesn't work with overpower. It only works with your non-overpower things. You could just make bonus Blood Orbs. And since you're continuously triggering Corpse Tendrils, it's Blood Orbs, Blood Orbs, Blood Orbs, Blood Orbs, Blood Orbs, and even more Blood Orbs, which is quite crazy. Now, before you go into the Paragon board, how do you actually deal with bosses? And that is quite simple right now, because you have your Blood Mist to make corpses that can then Corpse Tendrils, and Corpse Tendrils will stagger the boss. You can especially double cast Corpse Tendrils. Then your Corpse Explosions will make sure that you obviously have Fuel Death running all the time, but restore essence. You blast your essence empty, and then you just fill it straight back up with your hemorrhage on the bonus overpower attack speed, plus the corpse explosion continuously giving you essence, plus your mage is continuously giving you essence, so that you always top back up on essence really, really quick. And that works in tandem super nice together to get the boss down. Yes, you're not doing the Bone Spear super crits, but you're also continuously healing, and you're actually never prone to be dying from a boss. You're continuously in a safe position, especially also you're also fortified, since you're using that hemorrhage quite often to just refortify, and refortify is also a huge chunk of your damage. And then if you can, Rathma's Vigor, Blood Mist. So as soon as the Rathma's Vigor plops, then you use the Blood Mist, but also kind of always use Blood Mist as soon as you can, because it makes these 3 corpses, and that's Tendrils, Essence, and Corpse Explosion for more damage, or a bonus skeleton if you kind of need it. Now the Paragon board looks a little bit alone. We're going to go for maximum life and maximum life, as much maximum life as you can, because life is your damage. We're having the Imbiber rune because damage while healthy is increased, and your potions heal you more, which is quite nice to always stay healthy. The first board you go for is the Bloodbath, because guaranteed overpower deals 50% more overpower damage, and you have that. Plus, damage while fortified and fortified generation is quite nice. And then bonus overpower damage from the powerhouse with damage while healthy, overpower damage, damage while healthy, and you know, damage while healthy is quite mental. And the second rune you're using is actually Amplify, which gives you 10% more damage on cursed skill enemies, which works multiplicative with everything else. But it also boosts your nodes here to give you more damage while fortified, and a bonus healing received, which cannot hurt to have. Then we're going for the Cult Leader board to use the Debt Razor rune to use the Debt Razor glyph to reduce the damage taken by our minions, a little bit increase the minion damage. Doesn't really matter because your minions are not actually doing the damage, the Blood Surge Novas around them. Into the Blood Begets board, and here we actually haven't taken the Blood Orb damage increase up to 15% multiplicative. But if you choose to go for the Blood Orb Erode, as we talked about with the Corpse Tendrils, because you're essentially continuously making Corpse Tendrils, it might be worth it to put a point in there. But we're also having here the Dominate glyph for bonus overpower damage, and it's 30% for every 5 willpower. As you can see, it's 200% overpower damage, plus a 12% damage increase multiplicative again. Into the Scent of Death board for the permanent damage reduction or bonus damage as all the corpses are away, for damage to healthy enemies, critical strike damage bonus, and the Control glyph for the 20% multiplicative damage again on stunned enemies, which you're continuously doing again. With the damage to crowd control enemies stacking on intelligence, and there's a lot of intelligence in this board. Fast forward up, we're actually going past the Bone Graft board. There's another 2% life, 2%, 4%, and another 2% life. And in the long run, as we get level 100, that is 6 levels missing with a bunch of Paragon points, we're going to go all the way up here for minion armor and maximum minion life. Like straight up, making your minions unkillable, heal themselves with a Blood Surge on the Death Speaker's Pendant, and you an absolute menace. And yes, this can actually clear the new tier 100s. Hope I get you convinced on the new Blood Surge Summoner. It's stronger than ever, and it was already powerful. It might be the fastest 1 to 50 clearing Necromancer right now. If you're more interested in the Severed Necromancer and the other Malignant Hearts, especially working with a brand new Summoner Necromancer that is not using the Ring of Mendel, but has minions as the main damage, so no main damage, watch that video. Thanks for being here.